What it is, good people, blessings, positive energy, live long and prosper to you and yours. May the house of whatever your name insert here be eternal, peaceful, and profitable and healthy. What's up, guys? This is your man in black, the Badwolf. Some people in the comment section were like, well, why do you give yourself a name, and you call yourself the Bad Wolf? You're not bad. First of all, you don't actually know me to judge whether I'm good or bad because there's a number of people, a long line that could give you clarity on me being good and others definitely bad from their perspective. And did I give myself this name? I mean, maybe, kind of. So what? That's a written law of God. You can't give yourself a name. I mean, almost everybody either gets a name, nickname, or they name themselves, and it sticks. I've named myself many names over the years, and none of them stuck but the Bad Wolf. And it was actually just kind of joking, but because I said, as the Bad Wolf, I like to blow the little piggies' houses down. And they go, oh, but the little piggies were cute, were they? I mean, some pigs are okay, some aren't. No offense to my good law enforcement officers out there, and friends and family of such. But in this case, a judge can be a pig, or some overstepping law enforcement on the side of the road, or a lawyer, or whoever else, or a family member. And they're generally, if it's a real pig, a filthy, uh, its own fecal matter, body eating, filth, grimy thing that the only, I mean, if you're getting rid of, things you don't need, or you need bacon, I guess it's got uses. But anyway, let's get to it. So 18 U.S.C. 1543, forgery or false use of a passport. Forgery, it's making a fake one, or false use of a passport, using it falsely for something. Neither of which sounds like it'd be something that we would need or use. Wolf, explain yourself, good sir. No, I'm glad you asked. Let's listen to what she has to say about
Whoever
that.
falsely makes, forges, counterfeits, mutilates, or alters any passport or
Whoa. I heard something that may come into handy if you guys are traveling out there with your passport, because it says whoever falsely makes or forges or counterfeits or mutilates. I've heard of some officers cutting up people's passports or mutilating them. Hmm, that's the key word there for a lawsuit or going after them. But or anybody else. Maybe it was a judge or whoever else. Let's keep going.
passport or instrument purporting to be a passport, with intent that the same may be used, or whoever willfully and knowingly uses, or attempts to use, or furnishes to another for use any such false, forged, counterfeited, mutilated, or altered passport or instrument purporting to be a passport, or any passport validly issued which has become void by the occurrence of any condition therein prescribed invalidating the same, shall be fined under this title, imprisoned not more than 25 years.
Whoa. So, to my officers, to the judges, to all these people, you better think twice before taking, mutilating, altering somebody's passport and right to travel. It's not your property, it's federal property. You're going to take it and not give it back? Um, I think the federal government would have something to say about that because here you can be held to imprisonment, 25 years, and fining.
25 years, if the offense was committed to facilitate an act of international terrorism, as defined in Section 2331 of this title.
Now, some people say, well, Wolf, there, that's not international terrorism. Oh, yeah, it is. Because, see, legally, police officers are domestic to the United States Corporation, not the United States of America, which is why no police officer will find the word America on almost any paperwork that he has signed or she. United States Corporation is foreign to the United States of America in relation. That's by law. And if you're terrorizing somebody, you're bringing terror to them, it is international terrorism. This is why a lot of police and whatever else in their forms, even though they don't pay close attention to half the things they're signing, there's usually an FARA in there, Foreign Agent Registration Act or Agreement, because they're operating foreign, and foreign then means it's international. See, that a lot of the police officers don't know this information, and they're setting you guys up to be the line for these illegal international things that these courts are being wielded to do. The cops then are wielded to do, but you're on the front lines against your fellow Americans and nationals and state citizens. That's why you hear songs like F the police or whatever else, never about, oh, F the fireman, because they got you guys doing the dirty work.
Title 20 years, if the offense was committed to facilitate a drug trafficking crime, as defined in Section 929A of this title, 10 years, in the case of the first or second such offense, if the offense was not committed to facilitate such an act of international terrorism or a drug trafficking crime, or 15 years, in the case of any other offense, or both.
So nobody better be mutilating your passport. And if they take it, they're terrorizing you. It is federal property. Now, one could argue altered passport, they altered it, they changed it, or instrument purporting to be a passport. So that means there are other things out there that can be purported to be a passport that aren't normal passport things. Now, alter, willingly and knowingly uses or attempts to use or furnishes to another for use. Furnishes to another for use. Any such false, forged, counterfeited, mutilated, or altered passport. Well, furnishing to another for use, such false, then it says comma. So to me, under law, this would be them taking it from you. They're furnishing it to another for its use under false pretenses. You may have to argue your case. Or how about this one? 18 U.S.C. 1544, misuse of a passport. Let's read this one.
Whoever willfully and knowingly uses, or attempts to use, any passport issued or designed for the use of another, or whoever willfully and knowingly uses or attempts to use any passport in violation of the conditions or restrictions therein contained, or of the rules prescribed pursuant to the laws regulating the issuance of passports, or whoever willfully and knowingly furnishes, disposes of, or delivers a passport to any person.
Disposes of, right there. So if they want to mark or mutilate your passport, federal offense. They disposed of it. They delivered it to delivers a passport to any person, comma. That's what they're doing if they take your passport.
For use by another than the person for whose use it was originally issued and designed.
You can go after them for just this alone. And just this alone. You can just keep whamming them. 1543, 1544. Shall be fined, entitled, imprisoned not more than 25 years. $15.45.
Whoever violates any safe conduct or passport duly obtained and issued under authority of the United States shall be fined under this title, imprisoned not more than 10 years,
Or both. You can go after them for this safe conduct violation. The government says you have the right to safe conduct, meaning to pass from here to there safely, protected. If you're doing your right to travel right, this right here is the third one. You can hit that officer, agency, judge, whoever with right here. Now, some people have, what about this nation? And what about that nation? And what about, well, I can't speak on those, but you can, from your nation or that nation, if they have if they're recognized, then they've got some power and clout. If they're not official, they can still try to take you to, or you can, that nation can try to take the officer or whoever else to court based on specific violations. But this is why I focus on the passport, is because they have it already listed out. You have a lot of these freedoms, rights, and liberties already here. I don't have to explain them from the nation of Ungawa or whatever. They destroyed my passport that I got duly obtained. Here's the code. Government has to stand on their necks. I'm bringing the complaint to them, and I can individualize them, hit them each one, $250,000 each complaint. Boom, boom, boom. Cost you what? $400, $500 to file a federal lawsuit. Well, I remember one guy. I don't know if he still does right to travel, but they took his, and instead of fighting, it's like, oh man, I'm done, man. Yeah, you know why? Because he was cocky. So they gave him a hard time. Now, what he should have done after the first offense that they did to him is sue them in their public or private capacities. You can't sue them for the same thing in both jurisdictions, but you can go after them one for each type. Public capacity for this, private for this. A lot of times, a lot of them are so clever, you can't really go after them in their public capacity because they do have some state immunity, but they're not that safe in the private. Go after them for financially. personally. He personally damaged you, personally hurt you. That's why the old Nazi NA, well, we'll just say ZZI, because I don't really want, the Nazi from Mr. Adolf. That's why his soldiers were not exempt. They said, "Well, look, you might have been just following orders, but you still had a person to person, a living human being responsibility. So you are not getting off the hook, unless, of course, the government, U.S. government, wanted you here, and then they brought you here under Operation Paperclip. That's different, though. We'll talk about that in another video." All right, ta-ta. You guys have a great day. Don't forget to hit that bell, like, and subscribe. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. First time here, welcome to the tribe. You shall not be denied. Often tried. Ready to be tried again. All right. Let's get out of here, guys. Have a great weekend, a great day, great summer, great life. Stay healthy. Auf Wiedersehen.